Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Technology Mafia, and if this video looks different, it is because I am filming at night to make a point. This is what the prime lens looks like at 35mm. You could see there's a difference. Now let's go back to the 35mm f1.8. So in this video, I am going to be comparing two lenses. It is a prime versus your kit lens. So what is the difference between shooting your kit lens that comes with your Sony A6000 versus going out and paying a few $100s to get a fast f1.8 prime? In this video, I am going to be using the 50mm f1.8. The model number is SEL50F18 in comparison to the 16-50 kit lens. So let's go ahead and get started by looking at some sample images. So the first shot that we will look at is just a portrait of my wife again. This is using the 50mm prime at f1.8. Notice the bokeh in the background, subject separation, there's sharpness. Switch over to the kit lens. The fastest that the kit lens can take a shot is at f5.6. So immediately you see that the background is not as blurred as the first image. Now if we put the two images side by side, the prime looks like those professional photographs that you see at weddings. The kit lens just looks like a regular point and shoot image. Another shot here, this is the prime at f1.8. Notice the background and the ocean is completely blurred out. Now the kit lens, you could see how much sharper the background is. Again, when it comes to portraits, this is not necessarily a good thing. Usually with portraits, you want bokeh, you want subject separation. Side by side, you could see how much of a difference the extra few stops of light make on the prime lens. Now what happens if we stop down the prime lens? How much sharper is the prime lens, or is it sharper at all? So here is the prime lens, just a picture of some buildings at f5.6. And now let's take the same exact shot with the kit lens at f5.6. Now you won't notice too much of a difference. However, if we take 100% crop, let's take a look. Here is the prime at f5.6 again. And take a look at the kit lens. You could see there's an obvious difference. The prime is much sharper at the center of the image at f5.6. Next image, this is my motorcycle and my wife's moped in the background. This is taken using the prime lens at f5.6, and the same image taken with the kit lens also at f5.6. You may not notice much of a difference. However, if we zoom in 100%, here is the prime lens. You could see the shock and the Super Cub, and now the kit lens. You could see how much blurrier it is. Definitely not as sharp in this image. So what about action? What about freezing moving subjects in time? So using the prime lens, I was able to capture this image of my wife jumping up in the air. I tried to take the exact same shot with the kit lens, and this is what I got. So it's still not a horrible image, but if we zoom in, we'll see a difference. So here's the prime lens again. She is in focus. The background is nice and creamy. Let's move to the kit lens. You could see that she is not as in focus, a little bit more blurry because she's moving. The background is not as creamy. Moving on. The next image, I want to show you the difference in colors. So here is the prime lens at f5.6. This is the sunset. You could see nice and sharp. You could see the water, you could see the clouds and the sun. If we move to the kit lens, the water is definitely not as sharp and the colors are slightly not as vibrant. So very little difference, but there is a difference there. Another shot just to show you the difference in capturing fast action. You could see that this shot, she is not in focus, but the point of this image is to show how much faster the prime captures action. So you could see that the moving subject is blurry. However, when we compare it to the kit lens, you could see how much more blurry the same exact shot is under the same circumstances. f1.8 versus f5.6. And this last shot is perhaps the biggest difference between the two lenses. This is my attempt to take a portrait in the dark with no light whatsoever. Now this is taken at 1/8 of a second, and so you could see that it is very dark. It's pretty obvious, it's dark. Let me take the exact same shot at f1.8. You could see how much more light the extra few stops capture. So if you're not using a flash at night and you have very little light, the prime lens is amazing at being able to take better shots in the dark. Okay, so what is the conclusion? So there are 5 points that I'm trying to make in this video. The first is bokeh. So the bokeh is obviously better with the faster lens. f1.8 creates the blurry background that is often associated with professional looking images. Point number 2, in all of the images that I took with the 50mm lens, the colors were better, more contrasty, just more vibrant in general. Point number 3 is sharpness. There's obviously a difference in sharpness between these two lenses, even at the same f-stop. In all of the comparison shots that I took with the prime lens, stop down to f5.6, it beat the kit lens at 50mm and 5.6 f-stop. Point number 4, action. For fast-moving subjects or objects, the faster prime lens does a better job, period. Point number 5 is nighttime photography. There is a very big difference between the amount of light that goes through the fast prime versus the amount of light that goes through the kit lens. So is the kit lens a bad lens? I don't think so. The kit lens is a compromise, as it should be. So it functions as a wide-angle lens, it could do portraits, it does everything in between, from 16mm to 50mm. This lens does it all. Does it do it as well as a 50mm lens at 50mm? Absolutely not. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful in understanding how prime lenses differ from the kit lens. It was pretty eye-opening to me, and I'm sure that some of you will find this information useful and or at least interesting. So thank you guys for the support. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button below. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for future videos. Thank you and have a nice day.